Hello, Falcon fans, and welcome back to Oxford, Ohio, inside Millett Hall on a beautiful fall Saturday afternoon, where Bowling Green will get a chance for revenge against the Miami Redhawks on Coach Carolyn Condit Court. Miami got the win yesterday here in Oxford in a close 5-set match that went to extras twice. After last night's game, the Falcons fell to 5th in the MAC with a 7-6 conference record, while the Redhawks are now 7th place with a 6-7 record. This is Andrew Smith of the Falcon Media Sports Network, and it's just been me on the broadcast this weekend here in Oxford. To find all content relating to BG Athletics, including radio broadcasts, check out bgfalconmedia.com or follow BG Falcon Media on Instagram and BG_FMSN on Twitter X for social media content and updates. Also, hop on over to WBGU 88.1 FM on Sundays at 4 to listen to the Zig Zone, the sports talk show where a panel of FMSN analysts will discuss topics relating to BG sports. And suffice to say, there will be a lot to discuss tomorrow evening with the amount of BG sports that have happened over the course of the weekend. In addition to these volleyball matches against Miami, BG hockey plays Bemidji State tonight at 6 p.m. at the Slate. You can tune into that game right after this one with Ben Korak on WBGU 88.1 FM. They played the Beavers yesterday as well and tied 4-4, looking to get a win this time tonight. Both men's and women's cross-country teams ran at Amherst, New York in the MAC Championship today. Men's in the morning and women's this afternoon. The men's soccer team drew their game yesterday against UIC at home, trying to make a MAC playoff push in the late goings of the MAC season. Women's soccer just wrapped up their MAC quarterfinal at the Cruz Stadium in Columbus, where they got a huge win in double OT, 1-0 against Buffalo, so they'll advance to the semifinals. And finally, football also faced the Buffalo Bulls in their game today, but they lost 28-3, their only points coming off a 51-yard field goal in the fourth quarter. So there will be so much to talk about on the Zig Zone tomorrow, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The ugly being that football game against Buffalo at the Doit. But we're here for volleyball, and BG is looking to tie things up in this 2-game series against Miami. This has been a battle of the blocks so far. Both teams had 11 blocks in yesterday's matchup, but it really felt like Miami had control of the net for most of the game. This was probably last night the first time I've seen the Bowling Green backcourt outplay the front court. Back row led by Sydney Hernandez and Avery Anders. Hernandez had 20 digs yesterday. Anders had 14. Made up for just under half the digs that the Falcons got. But this has been a series so far that's been dominated by Miami at the net. Really felt like the Redhawks were the better blocking team yesterday. They got 2 solo blocks as a team, but also lead the MAC in solo blocks with 66 on the season. That's a huge mark because no other team has more than 50. Gentry Warwick is the best blocker on the Miami roster, and right now is the best blocker in the MAC statistically. 134 blocks on the season. Leads the MAC in solo blocks as well with 30. So she is their big blocker up front, but the whole team really got involved in the blocking game and played incredible offensively as well. It's a thing that these Redhawks have not been completely accustomed to so far this season, but a very defensive-oriented team, second in the MAC in blocks, like I mentioned, but also third in digs. So it was really impressive to see them become so offensive and play really well on the offensive side and get good hits over the net. They moved around their middles a lot of slide attacks, a lot of 3 balls. Ran a little bit of a faster pace than they have been all season. It's been a kind of a slow offense. And then yesterday really ramped up the speed. Someone I was really impressed by yesterday on the Miami roster, Lindy Radishetsky, the freshman really put on a show at the middle position. Not a lot in the box score for her. Just 4 kills on 8 total attacks with a .250 hitting percentage. But really just came and showed a lot of talent, a lot of poise for a freshman. Had really good serves, had 4 blocking assists. Really just helped her team in a variety of ways, came in, did what she needed to do, played her role, and played it to perfection. Just really impressed with her, and also obviously really impressed with Molly Creech. She has been absolutely dominant. She was dominant yesterday, to say the least. I mean, had 24 kills on 60 total attacks, as well as 17 digs and 2 blocks. Falcons really kind of slowly started to figure out how to deal with her and her offensive output and her swings as the sets went on. Later in the third set was really when they really figured it out, and her damage started to become very limited. She entered into that 4th set with 20 kills. So through the 4th and 5th set, only got 4, which is a major difference considering she had over 15 after 2. But the trick is, can the Falcons come out like they ended the game yesterday? Because through sets, the latter half of set 3, set 4, and set 5, Falcons looked much more like themselves. But they just couldn't do that early. And that's been kind of a story this season. That happened against Western Michigan. That happened against Ball State. And the series against those 2 teams, they just didn't look themselves in the first set, nor in the second. Dug themselves into holes and couldn't get out of them. In Western Michigan, it was a different story. They got overconfident after winning the first 2 sets in the first match against Western. And the Broncos ended up getting a reverse sweep on them. So this is a Falcon team that needs to learn to not get comfortable, to stay focused on the task at hand. Because teams in the MAC, every divisional opponent, as Chelsea Carter has been saying all season, has you marked on the calendar. You won the MAC regular season last year. You have to be prepared that every team's going to play their best against you. And Miami certainly played their best against the Falcons yesterday. The keys to the match tonight for the Falcons, that I mentioned, don't get comfortable. Have to constantly be ready, have to constantly look to make the smart play, make a good play. And then another thing is they need to get the ball to the floor. Miami stayed alive in so many rallies just by managing to pick up the rock. So something that the Falcons need to do is they need to pound the rock. They need to get it to the floor. They need to swing to kill. Didn't see a lot of that yesterday, especially in those first 3 sets or so. While Miami definitely was. Molly Creech certainly was. Reagan Lance certainly was. Lance had 14 kills on 29 total attacks. She's a junior, a veteran on this Miami team, one of the few starters that isn't a freshman or a transfer. And she had herself a great game after previously not having played much this season, only 30 sets played, as opposed to last season where she played in all 29 matches and finished second on the team in kills. She's listed as an outside hitter, was hitting right side yesterday. I expect to see much of the same considering how well she played. So we shall see how that battle turns the course of this match as we're about to get set for this game. As the national anthem is about to start, don't go anywhere, because we're going to be right back with starting lineups, and we're going to be right back with the start of the second match of this 2-game series here in Oxford, Ohio. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball here on Falcon Radio.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In Bowling Green football's 41-17 season opening victory over Fordham on August 29th, junior Justin Pace set a program record with a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown on the first play of the game. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus had the call on Falcon Radio.
Go back up and field it on the goal line. Trying to take to the right, got some blocks, got a hole. Peg was down the far sideline, and he's got space in front of him. 10, 5, touchdown BG brings back the opening kickoff. What a way to start the season.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi Mom, it's Emmettith and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
And welcome back here to Oxford, Ohio, where the Falcons are taking on the Miami Redhawks in the second game of this two-game series. Falcons lost yesterday 3-2. And I am here with you now with the starting lineups for this one, as they've just been uploaded. Starting for the Miami Redhawks, no different than yesterday, Hayden Hicks will start at setter. Lindsey Karen will be the libero. Molly Creech on the outside, as well as Chelsea Williams. Gentry Warwick and Lindsay Radoshetsky will be manning the middle, with the starting right side being another freshman in Lauren Coney. For the Falcons on the other side, Sydney Hernandez will be the starting libero. Anna Shatek will be starting at setter. Jessica Andrews and Helen Wilford will be the starting middles Kendall Williams and Helen Wilford will be the starting middles. Jessica Andrews will be on the right side, so used to saying that she's at the middle position after last season. And then rounding out the lineup, Edita Wadachetsky will be on the right side, as well as, on the outside, as well as Avery Hobson. As we're about to get underway here, as the Miami starting lineup is being announced here in Millett Hall, the Falcons will need to come out swinging here. Like I said, need to look to swing to kill. The Redhawks, oppositely, will want to do exactly what they did yesterday, minus the mistakes on serve receive, allowed the Falcons to get 6 service aces against them, as opposed to the only 2 they got on the Falcons. So they'll need to step up with their serving and their serve receive. And as they did yesterday, had it written down yesterday as a key to the game, utilizing their middles, utilizing the middle attacks. They did that a lot. They had the slides going, as well as the 31 balls. Mentioned that a little bit in the pregame. And if they can get the middles going, like they did yesterday. They looked great all game long. They can replicate that, it'll be another win for Miami. The Redhawks understand that they can beat the Falcons. They saw it yesterday. Coming into this game with a little bit more confidence, a little bit of a boost after the W. While the Falcons had to reevaluate and remember to stay poised. Probably came into this one coming off that sweep against Toledo at the Stro on Tuesday, a little too confident, and it gave the Redhawks the edge they needed to win in 5. As we're underway here in Millett Hall, Shatek will now set to Andrews. Andrews will whip it off the block, and it will not fall to the floor, but Miami's unable to get it over in 3, so Bowling Green will get that point. A good start for the Falcons. Redhawks, good job keeping that one up, just couldn't get clean touches on it, and it fell short of getting over the net. Avery Anders will go back to serve now for the Falcons. Had an ace in yesterday's match. She drops this one in nicely, set by Hicks to the middle. Radoshetsky, who, nice swing by her, goes off the hands of Anders, but she's unable to save it cleanly, and so things are tied up 1-1 here. As now Radoshetsky will go back to serve after getting that kill. Served by Radoshetsky, received by the Falcons. They get it back over the net. Miami unable to get the middle involved there. And it doesn't quite get over the net. So the Falcons will take that point as well. Sydney Hernandez puts this one over. Now a swing from Williams. Falcons receive that cleanly. Now Lesvovchik will swing and get herself a kill. Falcons offense has gotten going early. Redhawks looking for a way to respond as Sydney Hernandez drops this serve in nicely. Hicks bump set to Williams. Williams swings through. Block, tip, and Hernandez receives it cleanly. Now Kendall Williams with a swing down the middle, and Kendall Williams gets herself a no-touch kill. Finds a nice spot in the corner, clings to the line just inside the court. And Hernandez will serve again. Puts this one over, targeting Creech. Williams on the attack. Swings long, and it's too long. And it'll be another point for the Falcons. Are we going to see an early timeout from Dan Gwitt now that his team is down 5-1 here? It's still early. He probably wants to see how this plays out. Hernandez puts this one over. Creech digs it out again. Set by Hicks. Swung on by Coiney. Falcons get it now. Lesvovchik now with the swing. Not going to get it over. Now Andrews on the slide, and she will get it over and get a kill. Now we're going to see a timeout from Dan Gwitt, the head coach of the Redhawks. As the score is 6-1 here in the first set, we're going to take a quick timeout with the two teams. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Falcon Volleyball right after this on Falcon Radio.
Hey, I'm Lucas Kleinmeyer, and you are listening to a presentation of the Falcon Media Sports Network on Falcon Radio. For Falcons, by Falcons.
See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You are listening to Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And welcome back here to Oxford, Ohio. Sydney Hernandez just put another serve over. Chelsea Williams going to swing, but she's blocked by Kendall Williams and Jessica Andrews. Redhawks get it back over on the arm of Lauren Coney, and she places it nicely on the back corner of the Falcons Anders and Hernandez unable to dig it out, so 6-2 will be the score. Miami finally curbs that 5-0 run the Falcons were on there here in this first set. As now Cameron Utley, the other setter for Miami, will put this serve over. Jessica Andrews now on the side. Jessica Andrews with another kill, ripped it off the block. Miami's block was so dangerous yesterday. Haven't seen that same sort of ferocity on the block that they had yesterday. Really, we're pressing well. We're very fundamental with it. We're very disciplined. There's a reason it felt like they were choking the Falcon offense, as Amanda Otten now puts her serve over. The Falcons block the middle attack from Warwick, and Vazvavchik puts this one over for the Falcons. Now Chelsea Williams in the attack, and Chelsea Williams is going to get a kill. Chelsea Williams with a nice attack there. Went strong line. Ripped it off the block. Got that kill there. As Anders receives this serve, goes over the net and on the overpass. Lance swings on it and puts it down. So 7-4 now the score. Chelsea Williams serving for the Redhawks. She puts this one over. Hernandez digs it out. Otten sets to Vazvavchik. Utley digs it out. Now Lance on the attack. That's dug out by Otten. Anders now bump set, goes over the net. Lance swings again, and Lance gets another kill on another overpass by Avery Anders. Anders not the typical person you call on for those emergency sets. A fantastic defensive specialist, but not exactly meant to be a setter. She digs this one out very nicely. As now that's going to be a kill for the Falcons up the middle. And they're going to get back in the scoring column with a nice swing from Kendall Williams. That's Kendall Williams' second kill of this match. This serve by Sydney Hernandez is dug out by the Redhawks as they joust at the net. Hobson and Warwick battling there for the ball at the top of the net. Hobson comes out victorious. It falls on the side of the Redhawks, and the Falcons are now up 9-5. Vazvavchik now puts this serve over. Dug out by Karen. Swung on by Lance, and Lance gets another kill. The veteran Lance trying to fire her team up. They're down 3 as it stands, 6-9 here in the first set. Lindsey Karen back to serve. Hernandez digs it out. Otten now sets to Maria Tabak, who swings, and it falls in. A nice swing by Tabak that lands in the corner, opposite end of the floor from her. She's swinging on the right side. Checked in for Jessica Andrews. As Kendall Williams will now serve. The freshman middle puts this one over and way out of bounds. Got a little too underneath that one. Sailed about 10 feet over the back line of the court. And so the score is 7-10 in favor of the Falcons as Hicks puts this one over. Otten now sets Hobson. Hobson swings. Hobson falls outside of the floor, unable to drop it in. As Hicks will return to the service line again. Redhawks now down by just 2. Have tightened the Falcon lead. Vazvavchik digs this one out. Tabak swings on it. Blocked by the Redhawks, just enough for them to get the ball back. Now the Falcons block the attack from Radoshetsky. And now this swing from Coiney is going to go into the net. And it's going to be a point for BGSU. Now serving for the Falcons is Anna Shatek. She's unable to get this one over, so it's back-to-back service errors for the Falcons. First one by Williams, now by Shatek. And 11-9 is the score. Back to serve is Molly Creech. She puts this one over. She leads her team in service aces, which 18. Didn't have one yesterday, though. Hobson now on the attack. Will tip it, and it will fall out of bounds. So the lead is now just 1 for BG. 11-10. Creech will serve again. Puts it over. Dug out by Hobson. Shatek one-hand set. Blocked, but Falcons keep it alive. Hicks now sets the outside to Williams. Williams is kept up. It hits the light fixtures up top and falls to the floor. Score is tied at 11. Falcons had a 4-point lead to start this match, 6-2, and have since watched it slip away as Creech puts another one over. Dunaway checked in for Hobson, digs it out. She's going to get an attack now, and it's going to go out of bounds over the back line, and Miami will take their first lead of the match. Any longer overrun, and Coach Del Piombo will force a call timeout. Creech puts this one over. Bozwowczyk digs it out. Now a swing by Andrews that's dug out by Creech nicely. Now Williams will tip it over. It's kept up by the Falcons. Tipped over now. Now a swing from Coiney. That's dug out by the Falcons. Hernandez now bump set to Dunaway. Kept up by the Red Hawks. Now swung on by Coiney. That's kept up by Shatek. Hernandez bump set to Dunaway again. She puts it over, and it goes out of bounds. Just missed the outside of the court. Miami now leads 13-11. Creech now puts one over. Bozwowczyk digs it out. Bump set by Shatek. Swung on by Dunaway. Blocked, but kept alive by BG. Dunaway now tip it over. Now Hicks sets the back to Creech. That's kept up by Hernandez. Shatek now sets the middle. Helen Wilford jumped early, forced to just tip it over. Hicks now sets Williams, who's blocked and shut down by Wilford and Andrews. Avery Andrews will now check into the game to serve for Marin Dunaway. 13-12 the score. A solid block there by BG to cut off that scoring run. Andrews will put this one over. Try to drop it in on the back line, but it sails long. So now 3 service errors for the Falcons just in the first set. And Radishetsky back to serve for the Red Hawks. She puts this one over the net. Anders digs it out. Shatek bumps set to Bozwowczyk, who swings on it. Unable to get the kill, dug out by Radishetsky. Now swung on by Coiney, and Coiney, it's going to go out of bounds. Got a touch. Don't know who on. Probably off of the block. And so it'll be point Miami, 15-12 the score. Timeout is called by Coach Del Piombo. We're going to take it with her. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball here on Falcon Radio.
Bowling Green women's basketball travels to Louisiana to take on the Raging Cajuns for the MAC Sunbelt Challenge in their season opener on Monday, November 3rd at 7 p.m. It is the first of 6 road games to begin non-conference play. Tune into the pregame show at 6:35 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM with Falcon Media Sports Network's Adam Duffin, Trey Kennedy, and Noah Seeley. Lucas Kleinmeyer will be on the call at the Cajun Dome.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Ben Korak, Andrew Smith, and the Falcon Media Sports Network crew covering the Falcon volleyball team.
And welcome back here to Oxford, Ohio, where the Redhawks have taken a 16-12 lead here. Falcons down by 4 in the first set in the second game of this two-game series. Radoshetsky still serving for the Redhawks. Shatek bumps set to Vazvavchik, who tries to get a kill, but it's going to go out of bounds. Falcons making attacking errors and serving errors that are really holding them back after they took a 6-2 lead early on. 17-12 is now the score. Radoshetsky serves again, puts it over, dug out by Hernandez, set by Otten to Vazvavchik, who tries to drop it in, but she misses the court yet again. 18-12 now the score. Anastasia Bozic will now check in for Vazvavchik, who has been struggling and missing on her attacks as of now. Radoshetsky serves again, dug out by Hernandez, set by Otten to the back. Falcons forced to just free ball it over. Hicks now sets the middle, dug out by the Falcons, going to go over though, swung on this time by Williams, and Williams gets a kill. 19-12 now the score. Lindy Radoshetsky serves again. This time she's long. And a great serving run by her. She will now check out for the libero, Lindsey Karen. It's always a nice thing when you have a middle that can step up and serve in big moments. Radoshetsky is certainly that. The freshman from Cincinnati, very poised for being a freshman. As BG will now get a point here, as the Redhawks tried to go and reach over the net there when the Falcons had the opportunity to attack in the overpass from the back row. Sydney Hernandez will now serve again. She puts it over, dug out by Creech, set by Hicks to Coiney. Coiney, her swing is tipped up. Otten out of the middle of Kendall Williams, and Kendall Williams gets the kill. 19-15. Falcons have changed up the rotation a lot. Coach Del Piombo, seeing the struggles of her team, swapped a lot of things around, checked a lot of people in as Hernandez puts this serve over. Set to Williams, kept alive by the Falcons. Bozic will now swing it over. Dug out by Karen, set by Hicks to the middle. That's kept up by Williams. Now Otten will set the outside, and Bozic will get a kill. Bozic, the freshman from Serbia, has come in and been a spark plug for this Falcons team, doing whatever she needs to do for the squad. 19-16 the score. Miami still leads, but BG on a bit of a run here. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more Falcon volleyball here on Falcon Radio right after this.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Hutchinson, host of The Swoop.
And this is Brooke Blake, executive producer for The Swoop. The Swoop is BG24's sports talk show about all things BGSU athletics.
New episodes come out every Thursday at 6 p.m. at bgfalconmedia.com.
And welcome back here to Oxford, Ohio, as Sydney Hernandez puts her serve over the net. The Falcons are down 19-16 to the Redhawks, but they get a block there. Blocking out Lauren Coney, a freshman on this Redhawks team. Kendall Williams and Anastasia Bozic blocking that one out nicely. The Falcons on a 4-0 run. Sydney Hernandez puts this one over. Free ball now for the Falcons. Otten to Bozic, who's blocked. A solo blocker of Coiney gets her revenge immediately. 20-17, the Redhawks have reached the 20 marker first. They lead by 3 and in their best rotation now with Utley serving. This rotation gave the Falcons fits yesterday. Let's see what they can do here. Anders digs out the serve. Otten now cross court to Bozic, who gets a swing, tries to cut it, but it's dug out by Karen. Now a swing from Williams, who hits the net, but it also came off the Falcon block and goes out of bounds, so it will be a point for Miami. Utley will serve again. Falcons dig it out, but not cleanly. Just barely get over the net on the free ball. Now both teams scrambling. Utley with a poor set, and Lance is unable to do anything with it. She swings and swings out of bounds. So the lead is back to 3. Falcons barely got that one over, and somehow it also threw off the Redhawks. As Otten will now serve, Utley will set the middle. Kept up by Amanda Otten. Hernandez now bump sets Bozic, who's off the net, swings through, but it's kept alive by the Redhawks. Now a swing by Lance, and Lance will look to find the back of the court, and she will. Drops it on the back line. 22-18. Redhawks lead it here in the first set. Anders digs out Lance's serve. Otten now sets the middle. Kendall Williams misses the hands and misses the court. Timeout BG. Alex Del Piombo spends her second timeout as the Falcons are down 23-18 here in the first set. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Falcon volleyball here on Falcon Radio right after this.
BGSU Volleyball will be on the road playing their second game of a doubleheader in Oxford, Ohio against Miami of Ohio on Saturday, November 1st at 4 p.m. Tune into Falcon Media Sports Network's Andrew Smith on the call on Falcon Radio from Millette Hall, streaming live on bgfalconmedia.com.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
And welcome back here to Millette Hall in Oxford, Ohio, where the Falcons are down 23-18 here in the first set. Would need to pull off an incredible comeback in order to get back in this first set, as the Redhawks are only a point away from set point. They swing this one over. Hernandez digs it out. Now Bozic on the attack, tips it over. Creech digs it out. Utley now sets the back row in Williams. That's dug out by Otten. Anders now bumps set to Tabak, who swings through, and Tabak gets a kill. Maria Tabak with a nice kill there. And then she puts the score at 23-19 for the Falcons. Miami still leading, looking to put this one away. Bozic serving for BG. Tosses it up, puts it over, drops it in nicely. Nearly gets a service ace, but kept alive nicely by the Redhawks. They get a swing over, but it's dug out by Otten. Hernandez now bump set Tabak. Tabak swings to the back line, just barely as long. 24-19 the score. And the Redhawks have set points. Karen serving. She puts it over. Bozic digs it out. Otten now sets Williams, who gets a kill up the middle. A nice quick one ball to the freshman. Kendall Williams having herself a game already here in this first set. She's been getting better and better. The more points she plays, the more sets she gets to start in. And she is going to be a threat on this Falcon team for years to come. As now Isabel Laube will check in for the Falcons to serve. She puts it up and over. Dug out by the Red Hawks, set by Utley, swung on by Lance on the right side. Otten keeps it up but puts it back over. So they'll turn to Lance again on the attack, and she gets it through and down. Wilford unable to press that ball back over the net, and 25-20 will be the score here at the end of the first set. The Red Hawks take it and take a match lead of 1-0, just as they did yesterday. We'll be back with the second set of action here on Falcon Radio right after this.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
On September 5th, 2025, BGSU men's soccer forward Trace Terry found the back of the net with a spectacular goal within the first 5 minutes of the match to defeat Michigan State 1-0, marking the second straight season the Falcons defeated the Spartans. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer had the call of the goal on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel livestream.
Suarez will look along for Terry. He's going to find Terry. He's going to take it on the bounce. The left-footed shot is in! Oh, what a strike from Trace Terry! 1-0 Bowling Green!
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Hutchinson, host of The Swoop.
And this is Brooke Blake, executive producer for The Swoop. The Swoop is BG24's sports talk show about all things BGSU athletics.
New episodes come out every Thursday at 6 p.m. at bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to Oxford, Ohio. Here for the second set of action as Bowling Green looks to bounce back after dropping the first set to Miami of Ohio. Miami looking to take a 2-0 match lead and put the Falcons away early. They won the first set yesterday. Took them 5 sets to win the match. Two teams went back and forth. The 2 sets the Falcons won. They needed extra points to do it. As Amanda Otten will now serve, and we are underway here. Williams will get the swing for the Red Hawks, and she will get a kill for the Red Hawks. They take the first point of the set. Now serving is Radishetsky. Dug out by Hernandez. Otten now sets to Bozic, who's blocked but recycled. Now Wilford on the attack, and she's going to be long. Falcons looking for a touch, and they will get it. 1-1 the score. Bozic will now serve. Puts it over. Dropped in nicely. Now a set to the middle, and it's shut down by Helen Wilford, the solo blocker. Nicely done there by her. Warwick swung right into that block. A good read by Wilford as Bozic puts over another serve. It's dug out, and Williams will get the attack. She's dug out by Bozic. Falcons somehow keep it alive and get it over, but it's going to be a free ball for Miami. As they get a swing, it's kept up by the Falcons, but goes over the head of the official and onto the other side, so that will be a point for the Redhawks, and things are now 2-2 here in the second. The Falcons looked so in control of that first set in the early goings and then quickly lost control. Allowed the Redhawks to go on 2 major runs. As now the Falcons will get a swing by Marin Dunaway. Her swing will go down, but it hits the antenna, grazes it really. And 3-2 is now the score in favor of Miami. Cameron Utley will now serve again. She's dug out by Bozic. Otten on the back set to Andrews, and Andrews with the kill. Now serving for the Falcons is Sydney Hernandez with things tied up here in the second set at 3. Redhawks lead the match 1-0. Now a set to Chelsea Williams, looking for a touch. She will get one. Yes, she will. And it'll be the Redhawks' point, so they will take a 4-3 lead. Though the scoreboard currently reads 4-3 in favor of Bowling Green. No one is changing it as Otten now sets Andrews again, and Andrews with an absolute rip. So the scoreboard just got changed. They're going to have to give the point right back to Bowling Green. 4-4 now. Otten is now setting to Andrews. She and Shatek seem to have just simply switched in the lineup, or maybe Otten will just be playing all the way around now. We will see as the set plays out. Andrews will serve. Her serve will go into the net, and Miami will take that point, 5-4. Isabel Lauby now checks in for the Falcons. She looks to be the setter as the Falcons seal her off. No, Otten is still setting. Weird rotation here for the Falcons. Definitely not one we've seen so far this season. Otten's serve is a little too low. Dunaway unable to do anything with it, and so 6-4 will now be the score. Miami leading. Edita Vazvavchik will now check back in place of Marin Dunaway. As Karen will put this one over. Dug out nicely by Vazvavchik, and now on the slide is Kendall Williams, and Kendall Williams gets a kill. She is really swinging to get kills today. Making a name for herself on this BG team. Just 6'1" in the middle, the shortest of the BG middle blockers, but Cameron Wise of Ball State, she's standing at 5'11", so as long as you got the skills to do it, it doesn't really matter what your height is. As now we're going to see a swing by Molly Creech, and Molly Creech puts it in between the block and the net and gets herself a kill. been quiet so far, but quiet as opposed to yesterday where she had 24 kills. Only 2 kills so far today. As Hicks puts this serve over. Now Bozic on the attack. Bozic unable to get the kill. Karen digs it out. Now a swing from Creech. That's blocked by the Falcons, but recycled back to the Redhawks. Falcons keep it alive off the Redhawks attack. Now it's just going to have to be dumped over, kept alive by the Redhawks. Hicks gives it to Radoshetsky. That's blocked by Williams, but another recycle. Now Coiney on the attack. That's kept up by the Falcons. And there's going to be a net violation on Anastasia Bozic. So Miami leads 8-5. A 3-point lead, the largest of this set. Hicks will serve. Dug out by Anders, set by Otten, swung on by Bozic, and that's going to be a kill for the Falcons and for Bozic. Tips it over nicely and just drops it into the center of the court. Eight to 6 the score. Miami leads. Kendall Williams now puts it over, drops it in, and gets a service ace. Got it off the tape and down. She's been serving well as of recently. Had a service error in the first set, makes up for it there. 8 to 7, Falcons closing the gap, or at least trying to. She will serve again. Williams drops this one in. Dug out by McClure, now swung on by Coiney up the middle. A little bit of movement up front. Gets the better of the Falcons. And it will now be 9 to 7. Miami leads. Molly Creech will serve. Puts it over, dug out by Bozic. Otten will set the middle to Wilford, and Wilford will tip it over and get a kill. A nice try by Karen to save it, but she's unable to pancake the ball. Jessica Andrews will check in for Belle Lauby, and Amanda Otten will serve. Front row for the Falcons is Andrews, Wilford, and Bozic, with Otten, Hernandez, and Anders in the back row. A swing now for the Redhawks that will result in a kill. Coiney right now is absolutely ripping the ball, as well as Williams. They're leading the team so far in kills, as Radoshetsky will put this one over. Goes over the net. Coiney tries to turn it. Coiney tries to turn it into a kill. She goes into the net. Falcons have the point as of right now, but the officials are deliberating, and it will be Miami's point. The reception was outside the antenna. So it will be a point for Miami. The officiating crew is now discussing. I'm not sure what the call is. I have no angle on that ball. So the ball was outside the antenna on the reception. So Coiney's swing didn't matter because it was out of play. So the score is 10-9. 11-8, excuse me. They just changed the scoreboard in favor of the Redhawks. Otten will now set Andrews, who's unable to get over. It's blocked, but Wilford puts it right back over. Redhawks scrambling now. They will get a swing. Looking for a touch, won't get it. Outside the court, and the line shot is Williams. 11-9 the score. Dan Gwitt, very vocal coach, especially towards the officials. Got a yellow card in the match yesterday. Hernandez bump set Vazwavchik, and Vazwavchik will get a kill. That'll get her going after a slow start. 11-10 now. Falcons have reclosed that 3-point gap. Now can they tie things up as Bojic will serve, drop it in, misreceived by Creech. Williams forced to give the Falcons a free ball. Otten to the outside to Vazwavchik. That's tipped off the block. Now Williams on a real attack, and the Falcons keep it up, but can they get it back over? No. 12-10. Miami trying to keep the lead. Cameron Utley back to serve. She's dug out by Bozic. Now Vazwavchik on the attack. Miami keeps that up somehow. Well done by them. They get it over. It's going to be a free ball, though, for BG. Wilford up the middle. She tips that one. Miami keeps it alive. Now swinging is Williams. Williams is kept up by Hernandez with one hand. Now Vazwavchik with the swing. Kept up by Miami. Utley to Williams, who blocked a little bit. BG will now get an attack, and Vazwavchik will get a kill. BG wins that rally, and 12-11 now reads the scoreboard. Sydney Hernandez to serve. Tries to drop it in, but just misses. Aiming for the opposite corner. Redhawks smart to let that one go. 13-11 as Chelsea Williams will serve. The junior from Hawthorne Woods, Illinois, had herself a good game yesterday and is a consistent killer for the Redhawks, as the Redhawks here don't even need to attack. Vazwavchik swings into the block of Warwick and Lance, and they get a kill for their squad. So 14-11 now the score. Back to a 3-point lead for Miami as they will now attack, but BG will get the block. Overpass, Vazwavchik is blocked. Bowling Green somehow keeps that up. She will attack again. Miami keeps it up. Utley now dumps over. Otten now sets to Andrews, and Andrews with a rip, and Andrews with a kill. Jessica Andrews has been lethal when they've given her the rock here tonight. 14-12 the score. Redhawks still lead. Isabel Lauby serving for the Falcons. She puts it over, trying to drop it in, but she's going to go long. So service errors really hurting the Falcons. That's their 5th media timeout here in Millett Hall in Oxford, Ohio. We'll be back with the back half of this set. Miami leads the match and the set 15-12. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Falcon Volleyball here on Falcon Radio.
Mom was always very organized.
But my sister and I noticed she started to forget things.
Telling my girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard.
But Mom's early detection gave us time to make a plan.
My sister and I were there for Mom and each other.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Hutchinson, host of The Swoop.
And this is Brooke Blake, executive producer for The Swoop. The Swoop is BG24's sports talk show about all things BGSU athletics.
New episodes come out every Thursday at 6 p.m. at bgfalconmedia.com.
And welcome back here to Oxford, Ohio, inside Millett Hall, where the Falcons are down 15-12 here in the second set after dropping the first set to the Miami Redhawks. Redhawks lead the match 1-0. As Vazwavchik will get a rip for the Falcons, kept alive by the Redhawks. Creech will now get an attack. Lauby keeps it up. Otten now back to Vozwapchik, who tips it over. Creech keeps it up. Utley will now go to the opposite side of the court to Lance. Lauby keeps that alive, but it's going to go out of bounds. 16-12. Cameron Utley will serve. Amanda Otten will set Kendall Williams. Kendall Williams tips it over. Kept up by the Redhawks. Lance another attack, and Lance with another kill. And now a timeout for the Falcons. We're going to keep it here on Falcon Radio. Miami up 17-12. They're doing what they did yesterday. They're allowing the Falcons to make mistakes, which are both on attacking errors and service errors. Allowing BG to hurt themselves, and they're just picking up the pieces, doing damage where they can. They just keep the ball up in the air. Plain and simple as that. Second place in blocks, third place in digs in the MAC. Showing it off here. Offensively, not a strong squad, but when you're making the mistakes, they don't have to be. They lead in the match 1-0 as the players return to the floor. Chelsea Williams having herself a great game as to now. Swinging away for the Redhawks. Just an all-around great player, as the serve of McClure will fall out of bounds over the back line, and Avery Anders will check in for Vozwapchik to serve for the Falcons. 17-13 the score. Falcons down by 4. Anders puts it over. Dug out by the Redhawks. Creech swings. Lauby kept it alive. Can they get it over the net? No, yes, they can. It rolls over the tape and in. Now, Creech with another attack that's blocked by the Falcons. Utley now to Lance. She's off the net. Lauby digs her out. Otten now to the middle to Williams. That's blocked, but BG keeps it up. Hernandez now bumps it to Bozic. Bozic will get a rip. Kept up by the Redhawks. Creech will swing on it. Anders keeps it alive. Bozic gets it back up. They saved that somehow. Free ball now. And a swung on by Lance, and now that's going to go down. And it's going to be a point for Miami, 18-13. Anna Shatek and Maria Tabak will now check in for Amanda Otten and Isabel Lauby. Serving now is Hayden Hicks, the senior from Frisco, Texas. Puts it over. Bozic digs it out, but not well. She's going to get to attack now, and she's going to get blocked at the net by Radishetsky and Coyne. Hicks returns to the service line, 19-13 the score. Shatek now sets Tabak. Tabak's blocked, but the Falcons recycle it. Hobson now on the attack. Hobson looking for a kill. It's going to go out of bounds. Falcons have subbed basically everyone in at this point. Throwing everything they can to try to get something going, but nothing seems to be working. Miami has reached 20 points here, and the Falcons are at 13. Shatek now will set Tabak. Tabak grips it, looking to finally get a kill, but the Redhawks keep it up yet again. Coney now on the attack, overpassed by the Falcons, and Radishetsky will rise up and swing it down. Timeout, Coach Alex Del Piamo of BG. 21-13 the score here in the second set. Miami up in the match 1-0. Can the Falcons get anything going, or will Miami stroll on, win this set, and strut on like they have been to get a sweeping win. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more BG Volleyball on Falcon Radio right after this.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Media Sports Network produces more feature stories about BGSU athletics than any other media outlet.
All right, welcome back here to Oxford, Ohio. The score is 21-13 in favor of the Red Hawks. Falcons looking to finally get a point on the board, but they won't be able to as Hobson misses the floor again, just been completely unable to hit her spots today. All of the Falcon hitters are struggling. 22-13. Shatek now sets Tabak. She's looking for the corner. She won't get it. Amanda Otten's going to check back in. This time for Maria Tabak. Anna Shatek is going to go back. Behind the back row for BG, protected. This serve is going to go out of bounds, and so BG will get a point. It's 23-14, barring an nearly impossible comeback. This set is most certainly going to go to Miami. So the question for Bowling Green is, what's going to work? How do you get your offense going? And how do you shut down Miami on some of these attacks and turn this match around? As Otten will now set Hobson. Hobson with the swing, trying to get a kill, isn't going to get it. Coiney now to swing, and that one is saved by Shatek, but it falls out of bounds. Probably should not have even gone for it, as it will be set point now for Miami. They lead 24-14. As now Molly Creech will serve. Hobson fails to dig her out cleanly. Anders keeps the ball alive. Going to be a free ball now for the Red Hawks. Will they win it here? Radoshevsky's blocked, but blocked out of bounds. And Miami will take the 2-0 match lead with a 25-14 set 2 victory. They'll look to close this one out in 3 quick sets and sweep the Falcons after they got a 5-set victory over BG yesterday. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the 3rd set of action here on Falcon Radio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more BG Volleyball.
Imagine home. The smell of coffee, the sound of a lawnmower, the sun's warmth on your face. Free to be yourself, surrounded by love that helps you grow. This is a place to call home. That's an American dream we all deserve. But in 50% of U.S. states, you could legally be denied housing if you are LGBTQ+. Get the facts and hear real stories at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
On November 1st, 2024, BGSU men's soccer defeated nationally ranked Western Michigan for the first time in a decade. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer was on the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
History has been made here at Cochran Stadium for the first time in 37 regular season matches for the Western Michigan Broncos, and for the first time in a decade, the Bowling Green Falcons take down the Western Michigan Broncos by a final score of 3-0 here at Cochran Stadium. Wow!
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network, you can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
BGSU Volleyball hits the road once again for the first game of a doubleheader as they travel down to Oxford, Ohio to battle Miami of Ohio for a Halloween matchup on Friday, October 31st at 6:30 p.m. Make sure to tune in to Falcon Media Sports Network's Andrew Smith's call of the match from Millette Hall on Falcon Radio, streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
And welcome back here to Oxford, Ohio. Bowling Green is down 2-0 to the Miami Redhawks here today. A point of emphasis for the Falcons on their hitting coming into this match was hitting sharp cross shots and going down the line. They haven't done much of either, and when they have, it hasn't been powerful enough to get to the floor, and the Redhawks have dug it up. The Redhawks have just put the Falcons on their heels. They're not really doing much to beat them. The Falcons so far are just beating themselves. The Redhawks are just doing what they can. As they get a block there to open this set, Radishetsky goes up and blocks Helen Wilford to open up the scoring here in the third set. Third set starts just as the second set ended. Amanda Otten will set Jessica Andrews. She will try to go long on a tip. That one's not going to work. Radishetsky now on her own tip will get it to work. Drops it in, 2-0 the score. Falcons can't seem to get anything going offensively. And defensively are not having a bad game, just aren't having their best. As Otten now goes too high for Bozic, and Bozic will go into the net. 3-0 the score for Miami, despite what the scoreboard currently reads, which is 2-1. Molly Creech puts this one over. Jessica Andrews is going to swing, miss the hands and miss the court. 4-0 the score, as the sweep is seeming increasingly more likely here, as the Falcons have just not played their game today. This serve by Creech going to go into the net. 4-1 now. Can the Falcons go on a run? Can the Falcons get anything going, really, is the question on everybody's mind. And will the Redhawks sweep the Falcons? Hernandez drops this one in. Karen digs it out, set by Hicks, swung on by Williams. kept up by Anders, but over the net and out of bounds. A nice sharp cut shot from Williams that BG was unable to get a block on. And Radoshetsky now serving for the Redhawks. She puts this one over. Eddie digs it out. She'll now attack. Tries to cut that one in. Can't quite get it to drop. Now a swing by the Redhawks from the back row is kept up by Otten. Anders now to Andrews. That's dug out by the Redhawks. Now Williams will get another swing, and Williams will get another kill. Chelsea Williams on a tear today. Timeout called from BG. 6-1 is the score here in the third set. We're going to take a timeout with them. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the conclusion of this match here on Falcon Radio right after this.
Get hurt in a game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
This is Foster Ostei from the Falcon Media Sports Network, and you're listening to Falcon Radio. For Falcons, by Falcons.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Radoshetsky to serve for the Redhawks. Taking a minute here in Millett Hall as the Redhawks have a 6-1 set lead over BG and a 2-0 match lead. As that's now a service ace for Lindy Radoshetsky. That's her first one of the two-game series. And the first of the day for the Redhawks. This time she's dug out nicely. Otten now to Vazwavchik. Vazwavchik off the block, unable to put it down. And now Williams will swing, and Williams will get another kill. Fits it between the block and the net. Falcons need to press. This was a problem yesterday. Not pressing over the net, resulting in kills for Miami. Radoshetsky puts one over, dug out by Eddie, swung on by Kendall Williams, and it's going to be a point for BG. 8-2 the score. What a run by Lindy Radoshetsky from the service line. Redhawks have taken full control of this game and have not looked back. Match started strong for the Falcons in the first set, but has since just gone downhill as they have been unable to put anything together. Hicks now sets up the middle, and that will be a kill for Gentry Warwick with a snipe going for the sideline there off the hands of Shatek. Cameron Utley will now serve. The sophomore from Indianapolis transferred to Miami this season from Lehigh University, where she played 18 matches for the Mountain Hawks. She puts this serve over. Shatek sets Kendall Williams. Recycles off the block. Now Vazwavchik's going to swing. Blocked, but it falls out of bounds. There's a kill. And the Falcons are going to try to turn it into something more than just 1 point. Edita Vazwavchik to serve. Tosses this one up, puts it over. Set by Miami. They get it over. The Falcons dig it out. Now Vazwavchik from the back row on a Hobson bump set. Will be kept alive by Miami. Lance with a swing, and Lance gets a kill going off the BG block yet again. 10-3 the score. Chelsea Williams will now serve. Hobson digs her out. Set by Shatek to Kendall Williams. Trying to find the floor, but it's kept up. Free ball now for BG. Can they get something out of it? Tabak now with the swing. And it falls on the back line. A block by Gentry Warwick. That goes hard off the hands and way over and lands on the back line on the Falcons side of the court. 11-3 is the score. Williams puts it over. Hobson digs it out. Shatek sets her. She tries to tip it over. Not going to land. Now Lance with a swing. That's kept up by Shatek. Might have gone out. Now Hobson with another attack, and Hobson not going to find the right side of the line. And 12-3 is the score. Another timeout called by Alex Del Piombo. And we're going to take it with her. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the conclusion of this match here on Falcon Radio.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
And welcome back to Oxford, Ohio, where the Falcons are down 2-1 and down in the third set 12-3. Excuse me, down 2-0. Falcons hoping to not be swept by the Redhawks here in 3 sets. And the Redhawks looking to put them away quickly. As now back to serve for Miami is number 7, Chelsea Williams, who's having herself a great game today. On the outside, swinging for the Redhawks, but she does put this one into the net. 12-4 the score. Falcons would have to complete an incredible reverse sweep in order to get back in this game. More unlikely things have happened, but the Redhawks just seem in complete control. The Falcons unable to get anything going offensively. Kendall Williams puts this serve over. Now Lance is going to get a swing, and it's unable to be saved off the BG block. 13-4 the score. Now Ava Buttlemeyer will check in for Avery Hobson on the BG side. And Karen will serve for the Redhawks. Shatek now goes to Tabak. Tabak rips it off the block. It's kept alive by Karen. Swung on now by the Redhawks, but it's going to go out of bounds on the swing from Creech. And it'll be a point for BG, 13-5. Falcons seem to have their back against the wall. How will they respond? As now Radoshetsky will tip this one over. BG will get it now. Otten to Buttlemeyer, who rips it, but it's kept up by Karen. Now Creech with a swing that's going to find the floor. Molly Creech with a strike down the line. 14-5. Falcons are unable to block the Redhawks, and it's the back row that saved them yesterday because they couldn't block them then either. But the back row is unable to replicate that performance, as now the Falcons will give them a free ball off the serve. Radoshetsky will rip it off the block. Ozvapchik keeps it alive. Buttlemeyer now with the swing. She's blocked, but it's recycled. But Falcons are going to give them a free ball. And it'll be a point for Miami. Falcons unable to actually get that one over. and 3 touches, so 15-5 now is the score. Eddie digs out this serve. Otten sets it up to Jessica Andrews. She swings on it. Redhawks keep it up. Coiney now with an attack that the Falcons keep alive. Overpass, though. Swung on by the Redhawks, kept alive by the Falcons. Hicks now sets Creech, and Creech will get a kill, ripping that one off the block. 16-5 the score. And it looks like the Redhawks will get the sweep, so the Falcons will need to figure out how they are going to respond as the MAC season continues. They'll fall to 7-7. The Redhawks will advance also to 7-7 and will win the series. In order to make a playoff push, the Falcons will have to win out as Vazvavchik tips this one over. Redhawks respond with a kill. Coyne rips it through. On a nice cut shot that Vazvavchik was unable to pick up. Hicks now will serve. Vazvavchik digs it out. Hernandez will bump set Buttlemeyer, who tips it off the block, and it will fall to the floor. Another point for the Redhawks, 19-5 the score. The Redhawks are going to reach double digits on a service, are going to reach 20 points on a service ace from Hayden Hicks before the Falcons have reached double digits. 20-5 is the score. The Falcons have completely fallen apart here in the third set, as the Redhawks are looking to sweep. A nice rip by Buttlemeyer, but it's kept up as now Creech will attack. That's kept up by the Falcons, kept up by the freshman of Olivia Brown, who has checked into the game for the Falcons. Doesn't end up mattering, though, as Buttlemeyer will swing into the block of Miami, and they will shut her down. 21-5. Buttlemeyer digs this one out. Now Jessica Andrews with the rip. Jessica Andrews, there's a kill for the Falcons. That looked more like the start of the match, but it's going to be too little too late, as a comeback is near impossible here with the score being 21-6. The Redhawks 4 points away from victory, as Avery Andrews will serve. Hayden Hicks will now set Radoshetsky. She will hit it out of bounds, no touches. So 21-7 now. Falcons down by 14 here in the third set, down 2-0 in the match. Coach Quitt still has both his timeouts, so the Falcons, if they do put some sort of a run together, he can call a timeout to get his team refocused. But it doesn't look like that's going to need to happen, as Molly Creech gets another rip and gets another kill. 22-7. Creech will now return to the service line. That one's dug out by Anders now. Jessica Andrews with a swing off the block, recycled by the Falcons. Now Vazvavchik with a swing. That's kept alive by Karen. Now Williams with a swing for the Redhawks. That's kept up by the Falcons. Otten out of Vazvavchik, who tries to go line, but is shut down by Coyne and Radoshetsky. 23-7. It doesn't look like the Falcons are even going to reach double digits here in this third set, as Molly Creech will serve again, tapes it off the net and drops it in. An ace to put the Redhawks at match point, and they're going to win in a sweep against the Falcons. No question about it. A comeback for the Falcons, impossible, as that one will fall in and the sweep is completed. Jessica Andrews was blocked by the Red Hawks, and Miami wins both games of this series at home, defending their court. And the Falcons, another unsuccessful road trip, and they fall to 7-7 even conference record. And the Red Hawks also now with an even conference record of 7-7 with the tiebreaker over the Falcons. The question now becomes, how are the Falcons going to respond in the coming games? Next up will be Akron, back at the Stroh Center on November 7th and November 8th, Friday and Saturday, followed by another 2-game series, this time at Alumni Arena in Buffalo against the Bulls on November 14th and November 15th, another Friday and Saturday series. The MAC tournament will follow, hosted by BG, regardless if they make the tournament or not. If they win out the next 4 matches, which is very possible against those Akron and Buffalo squads, they will, in all likelihood, still make the MAC tournament, but they will need to figure some things out and start playing their game again before they can do that. It doesn't look like we're going to get an interview today with Coach Chelsea Carter after the sweep. So we're all just about finished up here on Falcon Radio. I've been Andrew Smith of the Falcon Media Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in. I'd also like to thank some other people here, namely Austin Roos, who's been in the booth for me, pressing all the buttons, keeping me sounding good and on air this entire match, as well as Tyler Kavelitz and Lucas Kleinmeyer, who allow me to have these opportunities with the Falcon Media Sports Network to write for them, to call games, and to travel with the volleyball team. As well as I'd like to thank Carl Smith, as well as the entire BG Volleyball staff and team for letting me travel with them and letting me stay with them and cover the team so closely. It's been a fun ride to this point, and I look forward to continuing it in the future, hopefully with some wins to come. But that is all. Thank you again for tuning in. Have a good night, and I Ziggy.